Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Manor House Interviews. I am Tino, and I'm joined by,
Natalie.
and today we have a very, very, very special guest. But before we introduce you to him, shout out Stay Lit. I have which one's this one? This is the Isaiah 9, verse 6 one. Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
A
It
whole
says
vibe.
that. It says that on the bottom here. It's got a young cross,
Hmm.
and then Nat has the.
Chosen in bright yellow because I need to be a ray of sunshine every day.
I love that. And we are joined by the one and only Nigel Manunure. Woo!
AKA Granddad.
Hey,
Um,
you should have told me. Now I feel out of place wearing my zigzaggy thing. I could have
I
put on
know
my
it's
stay lit.
no, it's okay. You and Laura can take this. You can sort it out amongst yourself why you're not representing your own bandmates. And
Wow. Okay. Shout out stay lit. Shout out stay lit anyways.
um,
Wow.
Nigel, do you want to give us a brief introduction?
Yes, I am Nigel Manunure and do I have to say where I'm based? I'm based in the UK for all the
Yes.
listeners out there who are outside of the UK. Yes. Um, I sing in a music group called Scripture Says Acappella, two P's, two L's. And we've been going for 2 weeks ago, it was our 13th year.
Oh wow.
Wow.
13th year. Yeah. So we didn't really do anything to celebrate, which makes me think that maybe we might need to do a 15-year celebration type thing. But yeah, so we've been singing for 15 years. And yeah, I said I don't know if you want me to keep going, but yes, that's where yeah, we are.
Love that.
13 years. 13 years is a long time. Um, I've got a question on that. Were there any other groups before Scripture Says?
Yes. Yes. Uh, yeah. Okay. So basically, I used to sing. The first ever involvement in music that I ever had was when I was in year seven or grade seven. No, grade seven
How
in
long ago was that?
Zimbabwe. And oh, rah, 2001, the year 2001, something along those
Man.
lines. I know. It's grade six or something like that. It's old, right? Wait.
Oh,
Were you born? You? Yeah, well, I was in year six.
oh my
I was in year
days.
six, I think, and it was in Hatfield Primary School in Zimbabwe. And uh, my mom, my parents, and I, because it was just me at the time, used to rent at this place. And the landlord's kids, these two twins, a boy and a girl, they were like, "Oh, Nigel, we've got a song for you." The song was called. They were like, "Okay, can we sing it for you?" I was like, "Yeah, sing it for me." And we were playing with the dogs outside, and they were like, "Oh, it's called 'Don't You Love Them? Don't You Love Them? Do you love them? Don't you love them? Don't you love them?" Yeah, and it was like, "I love my mother. I really love them. You know the song. I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
that one."
Oh, it's a real song.
And yeah. And then they pulled me to the side and they were like, "We learned this song at church. Don't tell anyone, okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll keep it secret." We did a pinky promise. This was a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I go to school. I'm like, "Guys, I've got a song."
Already broke the
I was like,
promise,
"I've got a
bruh.
song." Right? I'd never sung in my life, but the song was so good. And I just told the boys in my classroom, and I was like, "Oh, let me teach you a song, right? We've got nothing to do during lunchtime." I was like, "Okay, you guys go, 'Don't you love them? Don't you love them?'" And then they started singing. And at the time, I used to have, obviously, I was in year six, I had a high-pitched voice. So I was like, "I'm gonna do the lead, right?" So I was like, "I love my mother. I really love him." And then one teacher saw us and she was like, "I love what you're doing. Do you want to do it during assembly?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then um and he was so involved because we had this guy, he had like learning difficulties and stuff like that, but he loved the song. And he literally started dancing, and the teacher was like, "Yeah, you're gonna be the dancer, Nigel. You're gonna be the lead." And then all the other boys are gonna be doing the "Don't you love them? Don't you love them?" And then she would literally take us into every single classroom whilst the teacher was
Mad.
teaching. She would be like, "Can I stop you there? These kids are amazing. Let me teach you this. Let me." And then we would sing, 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 and then we sang during our end of year thing. That was my first entry.
Wow.
That was my first group, and we were called. What did I call us?
You had a name,
I didn't even
man.
know what. I didn't even know what. No,
They
our
had
year
they had
six
an
teacher
agent and a
said.
manager.
I know it's
And of
true.
course they had a
I
name.
know. Our year six teacher said, "You guys are called the Harmony Boys." Yeah, that was my first
And you went
entry
with it.
into music.
Sad.
Nigel and the
Huh?
Harmony Boys.
Yeah.
Harmony
That
Boys.
sounds that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Once you put
Yeah.
Nigel.
So that was
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
that was that. My parents threw me at some Adventist school in Zimbabwe, and then I wasn't an Adventist at the time, but they, relatives said, "Oh, there's a good school there out in the bushes," so they sent us there. And then Sabbath school choir, I was in Sabbath school choir, I was in the church choir, started a group, but I didn't even know what a cappella was because the world of Adventism at the time, then it was just all a cappella, no instruments. Um, yeah,
Oh
that was
wow.
my group. Obviously, there's other groups in later on
Yeah.
before Scripture Says, but yeah.
I don't know who would have. I think you need to reach out to whoever formed this Nigel and the Harmony Boys and send them some Scripture Says CDs. Yeah,
Man, that would be like amazing. That
and
would
be
be
like,
amazing.
look where I am now from your idea of these guys sound good. We need to
Yeah.
do something together.
Oh, so the twins,
Yeah,
I still follow them on Facebook,
is
but
it?
ever since that day, they never spoke to me, and we've not spoken since.
Yeah, because you broke a pinky promise.
We've not- It's been 25 years or something, and we've not spoken since. Ever since
Is
that
this,
time, they were
is
like,
this your
"You
time
you broke
to
a
say I'm
promise."
so sorry? I'm so sorry that you weren't in the in Nigel and the Harmony Boys.
I'm
Yeah,
clipping this and
yeah.
I'm gonna post. This is the first clip that's gonna go on Facebook. I want the twins to actually.
Confront him.
Oh man. Yeah.
Um, so today we want to talk about some of the songs that you've written. I know you guys are working on your third album, so I
Yeah.
we're gonna save. I want to save an interview for later, so we can talk about
Hmm.
the songs on the third album. But on these first two, I think we've interviewed two people so far, who have said whenever we've asked them who do you want us to speak to next, they've all said Nigel. So clearly, people want to hear from you and want to understand kind of your approach to
Mhm.
songwriting. Um,
Right.
so the question is, which song would you want to talk about? So I'm thinking Creating Me or Tug of War, or you can talk about
Um,
both at the same time.
yeah, I was gonna say the songs were written r round about the same time
Yeah.
because they've got similar themes, even though they're totally different in terms of their arrangement. They've got similar themes, so we can bounce in between the two because they were written round about the same season, if you got what I mean.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can talk about the I guess the arrangements a bit later, but I want to understand what was happening in your life around the time when you write those two songs.
Um, rah. At the time, how long ago was 2013, 2012, 2013,
Long
something like
Yeah.
time.
that?
12 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, I'm gonna 12 years?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop saying ages because like dates, you guys were laughing at me. How old were you? 4? Uh,
We're a bit
at,
older than
at the
25.
at the time, right? So at the time in my life at that particular time, I was I was struggling. And obviously I say this openly because I just talk about it with anyone who when the subject comes up. I was struggling with porn addiction, right?
Mm.
And it was such a conflict because it's like I'm this Pathfinder leader, I'm like all these things are happening, and I'm like, oh, singing in this group. Obviously, at the time we hadn't recorded anything, but it's like you sing in a group and you're like in the youth group, and people look up to you, and the first song that I did around that theme of struggle was Tug of War,
Mm.
and that's what was happening. And I think months afterwards, I was then listening to a Rifiwacho song. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was on SoundCloud at the time.
Yeah.
And I got this sort of harmony, and I was pointed back to like Psalms 51, like created me a clean heart, created me a clean heart. And then I started writing for that.
Mm.
And in hindsight, when you're looking back to it, those two songs, it was around about that time when I was just like so confused because I'm like, okay, I've got this situation, I've got this addiction, I've got this shame around me. I'm struggling, I don't know what to do. So how do I come off it? Because I feel like I'm just getting pulled
Yeah.
left, right, left, right, left, right. I'm getting pulled to church, while I'm getting pulled to this dark place where no one is seeing me. And then when I come out, I'm getting pulled to there because there's like revivals, there's Army Bible Camp, there's Youth Congress, there's all these things
Yeah.
that are like literally in your face. God is like, yeah, yeah, come this side, come this side. It's like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. And then I go home and it's like, ah, no, no, come this side. And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, it's like tug of war. And at the time, it wasn't as exciting when you're looking back at the lyrics because that was the genuine struggle. Like I literally
Yeah.
felt like I was getting pulled, and I'm just in the middle there with these two
Mm.
Yeah.
entities just like pulling me. Yeah, so that's what was happening at the time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that that song, the lyrics of that song, like everyone can relate to,
Yeah.
and I think that's the writing of that song is genius because you listen to it and it's like I genuinely feel like I'm in a tug of war. Like I don't know about anyone else. I
Yeah.
listen to it and I feel like I'm genuinely like out here
Yeah.
like this, but then it's really interesting because there's some songs that feel very specific. So it's like,
Hmm.
for example, in this case, like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this song. I know it's about porn addiction, but you don't listen to that song and think that like you,
Yeah.
No.
it,
You can take and relate it to.
yeah, you think automatically about whatever you're going through,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think in hindsight, when you're then looking back to it, you're like, oh, okay, so this applies to everything else. But
yeah,
I wasn't feeling like I'm wrestling with some, I don't know, like lying or stealing or it was literally just down to my particular situation.
mm,
But obviously, in terms of the full lyrics, it would be wrong for me not to mention my co-writer
Mm.
because before I even tell you who the co-writer was, this song was supposed to be a reggae song. Because for
we
some
want to hear that
reason,
one. Let's go.
for some reason, when I was
Release the
singing
wild.
it, I was like, it's a mistake to think when you're on your sin. Da, 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 da. And I was like rocking it's like a tug of war. Da, 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 dun, da, da, dun, da.
Maka.
And,
Maka.
yeah, and I was just like, this is so basically the person who then wrote the second song is my bandmate, girlfriend at the time, now wife, you know right?
Ah.
So there was some lyrics that were there on the second verse. They were just not linking. And
Mm.
at the
Mm,
time, I was thinking I've written a banger. This song speaks to me, but obviously people don't know why I've written it. And Scripture
Yeah.
says people didn't even know because obviously I was still ashamed to sort of come out and say this is my
Yeah.
struggle. That's why I wrote the song. Uh, but I believe Chido knew about it at the time. And she had this way of looking at the lyrics, and she kept on saying like you need to maintain the theme, you need to maintain the theme because you're telling people a story.
Yeah.
And in my head, there's like my ego, right? I'm like, oh, I'm writing songs. Why are you changing? I just want to write it and it's straight so that it's written by Nigel, you know. So there was
Yeah.
also that in my head. But she took the song and then she wrote a, 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 this third, the third verse.
Mm.
Uh, this was after the bridge where we say we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers of darkness of this world. And then she then said, look, it's a mistake to think that when you're on God's winning side, there's no longer need to fight
Mm.
because
Yeah.
we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but evil spirits in higher places. And then she wrote, so pull your weight on this rope of life, right? Obviously, the rope, this tug of war, is now a metaphor of
Yeah.
life. Stay strong, don't give up the fight. With one word, Jesus can conquer the side that keeps pulling you back.
Yeah.
So within that as well, because obviously I had sort of told her like, this is the struggle that I'm having. And then she was like, you need to keep on like fighting. You need to
Yeah.
keep on pulling. So if you're really thinking about tug of war, if God is pulling you this side because he wants you on his side,
Mm.
as you know, the chorus says, the devil offers temptation, God salvation. You've
Yeah.
now got a situation because you need to choose hot
Yeah.
or cold, not warm. That's the
Yeah.
news. That's it. You have to choose. So then Chido wrote that you have to keep on fighting and hold on to this like rope of life. But when you're holding on to it, put your weight in it. So it's
Mm.
Yeah.
not that your weight is what saves you, but you pulling, it's almost like every action that you do heading towards God.
Yeah.
That sort of weight. So you need to
Mm.
put your weight in the things that matter when you're pulling.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that's the second verse that she wrote, and I thought it really captured everything
Yeah.
properly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really beautiful to have like other people come in, and especially with something that is so deep. It's like this is literally like your life that is almost on the line here of like you're trying to choose what's going to happen, and you're feeling the pull to have other people come in and kind of live in that with you, but also write something almost like as an encouragement. It sounds like
Mm.
she then wrote the encouragement that you needed to almost choose a side. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Also, obviously, just a caveat to that is it's a continued decision that you have to make as a songwriter, where
yes.
you write a song and you're like, I finished the song, but God is like, mm-mm, just because you've written it doesn't mean that you're
Nobody's
finishing
finished.
it, you know?
Yeah.
So 3 albums in, I've now learned to be like, when someone's like, nah, I've got better lyrics for that, you're like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now it's easier. But this was the first song that she ever changed. Oh man, I was tripping. I'd never said it to her face because I thought it's kind of wrong, isn't it? Because you want someone to be part of the journey. But in my head, I
Yeah.
was like,
The
no,
babes as
who
well.
do you think you are? Why? This is my song. Why are you changing? And what are you saying about the lyrics I wrote? But I can't even remember the lyrics that I had 2012.
Yeah.
All I remember is that third verse, I turned it into a reggae song. And I was like, you need to stick to the theme. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's good because when someone else is a contributor to your music, they are
Mm.
also telling their story or
Yes.
Yeah.
taking part in your story, and then that journey, you know,
Yeah.
it,
I
it,
was
it goes together nicely.
I was gonna ask with that song specifically before we move on to Creating Me, what has been the response when you speak to other people, like people who listen to Scripture Says music? What has been the response to that particular song? Have people come to you and about their different situations? Because as much as you had your situation that inspired the song, I'm sure when Cheetah wrote the other verse, there was something that maybe she'd gone through that inspired that, and other people as they listen to it, they've got their own situations. Have you had conversations with listeners about the song?
Yes. I've, this is obviously going back like the years, if I remember the conversations, but it was always down to the lyrical content of it, where people were
Yeah.
like, because the yes, there's the message behind it, and every line we try to make sure we maintain scripture, but in the essence of it, chorus, it's like a tug of war.
Yeah.
Everybody wants some more of me. You know, the devil offers temptation, God salvation, we have situation. So it's simple lyrics enough, and they paint a visual picture. So I think that's
Yeah.
what people related to, because they were like, ah, okay, I'm struggling as well. Oh yeah, it's like I have to keep on having to make a decision.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the song, we were trying to figure out how to finish the song, and I can't remember who it was. Someone was like, "Oh, can't we just put whose side are you leaning on? Leaning on the Lord's side." But then
Yeah.
scripture
Yeah.
says it, and then
Sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just yeah, that's the height. And then it just makes it very. We made it like fun, but also like sort of enriching to people. Majority of the themes that people were talking about was that they could relate to the
Yeah.
Mm,
song. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's really beautiful, I
mm.
think. And I like how you scripture says-ified songs. We're trying to make it fit.
It's in the name.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I guess kind of again leaning on the side of scripture. What this song is obviously mentions Ephesians 6, where Paul is talking
Yeah.
about, Paul, the Lamb of God, we wrestle not against all of these things.
Yeah.
What's really interesting to me is almost like the twin or the pair of this song is then taking an Old Testament text of create in me a clean heart. I was kind of going to ask, how do you navigate as a group whose main thing is we're taking the scripture and turning it into songs? How do you even choose what kind of place in scripture you choose to base your songs off? Because I've always found that fascinating. If like you are writing a song that's based on scripture, there's so much, like the Bible has so many things to talk about. How
Mhm,
do you make
mhm.
that decision of I'm gonna decide to use Psalm 51 instead?
I think because we've all got, so obviously in the group it's myself, Chido, Laura, and now Dylan. But at the time it was Tino Sakarambe, right?
Yeah,
And before that there was other members, but mainly the people that were there for the first album. I think the styles were, it was never, oh, I'm going to look at this verse and then I'm going to write a song about it.
yeah,
Most for me, for myself, it was the situation that I'm in, and then you write about it, and then you're
Mm,
then thinking, okay, the what I'm feeling now, what link do I have to what the scripture says? And then you
yeah,
mm,
find verses and you're like, okay, so with things that I've written here, how does that link to the Bible verse? How can I make that merge? And majority of the time we end up finding ourselves like saying three words and then citing the verse and then saying three
mm,
words. It's almost like a dissertation, like referencing back
yeah,
to scripture to be like, I've
yeah,
written this song, but really that's what the scripture is saying. Okay,
mm,
yeah.
this is what I'm feeling now, or I'm feeling a bit low today, but lean not on your own understanding. Da da da. So it's always pointing to scripture. And I think in essence that's what the group tries to do. I'm
mm,
not sure if there is any song that we've ever released that does not have at least one Bible verse in it.
mm,
Mm,
I think, if I'm not wrong, I can't remember now, but majority of the songs just have text. Some of it is just word for word.
mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like 3 a.m. I was gonna say, like
Yes. 3 a.m.
I think it's a good exercise even just for like our devotional life
oh yeah,
because there's so many things that we go through and then having to search for or recite or remember scripture that kind of combats our thoughts in our minds or
yeah,
speaks to the situation we're going through. I think as Christians that's something that we should be doing. So
oh yeah, one hundred
it's a
percent.
really good exercise and it's even
Yeah.
cooler because it's in music.
Yeah,
hmm
Yeah.
And do you know the group that inspired this? Um, I think the group that inspired many generations of people who love a cappella is A Cappella Company.
Yeah.
And one album that I would literally shout out to anyone, if you want to see the essence of scripture being put in song, is the A Cappella Company album Radiance.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many Bible verses that I now know because Kate Lancaster, the writer, just literally took the verse word for word and he just put a melody to it. But they
Yeah.
Yeah.
made it into like a really like boom, 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 like that, really like putting a groove to it.
Super.
Yeah.
The title song, Radiance, and I know I'm not talking about another group, but like
Yeah.
that's where really I draw inspiration
Mm.
from. Laura's got a different style because I think Laura will probably read scripture and during her devotions, she then write what comes out of it. And I think she
Yeah.
does a mix. It's all different.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
all different depending on the
Mm.
season that you're in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wanted to ask about turning it from this is just the scripture and the song that we're going through, but to have a very distinct scripture says sound. Um, Obviously these two songs are from the first albums and there's been growth and development since then.
Yeah.
But what were those moments like of like crafting it and saying, okay, this was a reggae song before to what we now have? Even creating me has like a little, almost like a little breakdown in the towards the end. That's almost like turning into a very different genre than what the song starts at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost like a Latin type groove in it. What are those conversations like of making those decisions to make the music the way it is?
Um, now, my especially for the first album, some people don't believe me when I tell them this because I work in engineering and machining. When I was writing certain songs for the first album, a lot of the melodies were taken from the sounds of the machines. Depending on what material you were cutting. So if you're cutting stainless steel or you're cutting aluminium at a different feed rate and speed, it's all got different sounds. Are you cutting it from here or is someone cutting it in a different room?
Yeah,
Are the doors open? Is someone hammering metal to make it straight? Is someone pushing a barrel? Are people talking? So all those sounds, we also have had to wear like ear defenders.
yeah,
So because your sound is muffled and you're also singing and humming melodies, all those sounds just sort of came together,
yeah,
and majority of the songs that we do, if I'm doing the song, it's always rhythm and melody first.
yeah,
So I'll have like these banks of rhythms and melodies that I just record and save. And most of them from the first album were just me going and then I'll get home, I'll listen to be like, what was I trying to do? They'll be like, oh, okay. And then I build at least one line.
yeah,
And then from there, I would then try and fit my situation into that melody, which is a bit obscure way of doing it.
yeah,
And then once I've done that, Laura or Chida would then listen to it. They'll be like, what are you doing? Like, because obviously my vocal range is limited,
yeah,
right? Is literally limited to just bass and some bits of tenor. So they'll be like, you're singing off, you're singing off, you're singing off, but we get what you're trying to
you see
do.
the vision.
And
Yeah,
then they would then take it
Humbling experience.
and then interpret what I was trying to do.
yeah.
Mm.
And then
It's
from that, I'm like, I like that. Yeah.
yeah. It's really interesting because we had Yomsa on and she was like, I she's one of the people who asked if we could have you on because she was saying as a soprano, because mostly she's singing melody. So she's saying for her it's quite almost straightforward to do a song because she can sing the thing and then think, okay, what would it sound like with a bit of harmonies underneath it? And she's like, I always wondered like how does someone who sings bass arrange and write a song, especially one that is in a mixed group as well. But yeah, I think it's interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. For you to really understand how I think I'm better now as I've grown vocally, but at the time I would do songs and literally they would laugh at me first. After laughing at me, then they would like we catch the vision. And then someone
Yeah.
would take the thing and then interpret it. There's a time that I sent whatever I had into like a voice note. This was before WhatsApp, right? But into like a recording thing. And I sent it to Rifi in South Africa, our mix engineer. And I'm sure I would find the text. He said Nigel sounds like a, a donkey that's choking on plastic. Verbatim, that's what he said.
Oh no!
He was saying it as a joke, but when I then played the thing back, I was like, yeah, it does sound like I'm choking because my range is just,
Voice note.
it's because
Rufus
obviously,
is
for those who listen to Scripture Says, Laura sings high,
Mm,
right? So trying to write a part for a soprano, a high soprano, or like a high tenor, for
mm,
someone who sings a bit low, it's just like, yeah. And then when it comes to like runs, I'm like, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go,
yeah,
but I couldn't still this day. Like I know what I'm trying to do, but my voice just doesn't. My voice box doesn't allow it.
yeah,
But you found your people
It's-
yeah,
because your people understand what you're trying to
yeah,
do, and then they're like, "All
yeah,
right, yeah, cool, we got it." Like, yeah,
yeah. I was gonna say
yeah,
thank you for
yeah.
giving us the title for this episode, "A Donkey Chucking on Plastic."
hilarious.
That's what he said. Safe to say, we're still working with Rifi.
Yeah, yeah,
He didn't offend me. It was funny.
yeah. No relationships were
Yeah,
damaged in the
Yeah.
making of it.
Oh, I
yeah.
absolutely love that. Um,
But
okay, so
again, just on that, obviously, for anyone who would be listening, it all then just goes to show that your vocal capability should not limit you from producing something.
Mm,
mm,
I think that's what I learned because I could have really taken aback to what they were like, the group were laughing at me. They would laugh and laugh and like, yo, my guy, like, let's take it and let's work on it. But
yeah,
it never stopped me because I think more so I was more interested in the melody and the lyrics that I was writing. And I
mm,
yeah,
knew that I had some people to back me up. So I
mm,
think for anyone who would be listening and maybe has a desire to be a songwriter or a desire to be into music, lean onto your stronger side
hmm,
and just really just focus on that whilst building on where you are lacking. But just because you're lacking here doesn't mean that everything has to like sort of fall off. So I then focused on, okay, let me do the melody, let me do the rhythm, let me do the lyrics. And then
yeah,
those who are really good at harmonies and things like that, they then add. It's also then just shows the collaborative effort. Otherwise, I would be a solo artist. But I
mm.
yeah,
need those guys just to make things make sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Teamwork.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm,
I think it's been really interesting watching you guys do the third album that you're doing now and the collaborative kind of work that you do. And I'm looking forward for other people to hear what you guys have.
sounding so good.
Yeah, no, it's honestly it sounds amazing. I guess my question was going to be for this new album then that's coming up. Are there any sort of themes that people can look forward to in terms of what you're writing and what you're talking about?
Well, without spoiling the title,
Yeah, let's see if we can get.
I know, right?
Yeah,
all I will say, um, see, this sounds like you remember. I'm not sure. See, Tom Holland when he was getting asked
yeah,
about Spider-Man and Marvel, and they would
yeah,
like spoil the whole thing, and then Disney. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying. Let me. Okay.
We
Uh,
like spoilers.
all I know is that no, I know a lot. All I will say, all I will say is
Right.
that it's mature. It delves into similar themes from the first and second album, but in a lot more mature way. Like how they say the older you grow, the more you just see the world, the more you you learn about yourself, the more you learn about God and your understanding of how the world works.
Yeah.
And it's still, Scripture says, based on Scripture, but um, a lot more mature and fun at the same time, because I don't know, because I love the group so much. I think this is our best work yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday we were listening to Chido had just finished working on one of the other songs, and we listened to it, and Dylan basically said in the group chat, he was like, I listened to the song and I'm walking out of work and I feel like the main character.
Make that energy.
I love
Let's
that.
go.
I love
Yeah. That's the feeling that he got. And I was like, oh,
that.
okay, cool. It's really nice. So yeah, it's focusing on a lot of sort of mature themes, a lot of growth,
Yeah.
but also just the reality of what it is to be a human,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
but also the power that God has over this reality. Yeah.
We're also waiting for the third album.
Mhm.
We're going to be listening to the first two, obviously. So, what are your favorite songs on each of the two albums? You only get to pick one.
That's a good question.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Wait. This is hard, right? Because let me see.
I can ask it. I've got an easier question. We can start. We can start with an easier question and then move on to that. Watch. Let you think about that one.
Okay.
Okay. My easier question is in Tug of War and in Creator Me. What are your favorite parts of each song?
Not easy.
Um, okay. For Tug of War,
Yeah.
my favorite part is the chorus.
Okay.
It's the chorus, yeah. And I think because Tino led that he did it so well and captured everything that was in the lyric, the chorus, because repeating just that chorus,
It
Yeah.
feels
I
like a
think
tug.
you can sing the whole song.
Yeah.
If the whole song was just the chorus, I think you still get the picture,
Mm.
Yeah. That's
because
true.
obviously for those who don't know the lyrics of the chorus, it's like a tug of war. Everybody wants some more of me. The devil offers temptation, God salvation. We have a situation. You have
Yeah.
to choose. There's no excuse. Hot or cold, not warm. That's the news. And then it says, I want to run back. I got to run back so fast, like the prodigal son. So obviously, if you know the story of the prodigal son, you then put everything together to be like, oh, he was being pulled on that side, and then he did whatever he did, but then he ran back because he knew where to go back. So even if
Mm.
you were to remove all the other parts, it gives you the struggle, it
Mhm.
gives you the offers that are there, and then it's like there's no excuse. And then it's like, I gotta choose,
Go back.
Yeah.
go back to God. So it still sends you back home. That's why which answering your first hard question after what I've just tag of war for the first album, I would say. Yeah.
What about on Creating Me? What's your favorite part of that song?
Oh, the middle section where it turns into like a Latin thing,
Yeah.
it's like break me, melt me, mold me.
Yeah.
That wasn't our work because there was just like a bass line that was there. But when our mix engineer, shout out Rifi Wancho, he heard something and then he just added little things,
I'll spice to it.
Yeah.
and it just gave it that richness. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the part I love.
Love that.
Love that.
What's your favorite bit of both songs?
Oh, I can't lie. I think actually the third verse of Tug of War, like, yeah, when you're on God's winning side, there's no longer need to fight. Like,
Hmm.
because I remember when I first heard that lyric, I was like, yeah, like, yeah,
Yeah,
is a little
it's deep, right? Because it's like
yeah.
you're not the one fighting now, because we're wrestling against
Yeah.
principalities, it's things that we literally have no power over, but only God. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Mm.
I like that bit.
Weird sounds. Yeah.
I'm
That
I'm
was
here for the
that
weird
was
sound.
that was it was either that or the reggae. So
That sounds, it sounds like a machine that was, in the far off in the distance that made it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember the day Tino was in the studio and we were just like, okay, we need a transition into whose side are you leaning on? And we tried to make it fun, even though it's a serious song. We just thought what would give this song like a little edge. And then
Yeah,
because Tino was like our resident beatboxer, he was like, "Oh, I can do the scratch thing." I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
what is it?" He was like, "Oh, rap, 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 rap,
yeah.
rap, rap." And yeah,
Do you know what? I thought it was you.
it was it.
I
No,
actually thought it was
I'm
you.
not a beatboxer. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, not
yeah,
at all, not at all.
fair.
No, that was Tino Sakarambe,
I might message him
multi-talented.
and say, I now rate you because of this.
That's why I like the weird
Yeah.
sounds. You always find out some interesting stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true.
I
the
mean,
weird stuff. Yeah,
people always talk about scripture says sound, which I'm still trying to figure out at the time. But I think we, even though we've got like sort of mellow songs and we're like a lot of our songs are like rhythm based.
Hmm.
And once you add rhythm to something, I mean, you can add whatever you want as long as it's in time and
yeah,
it's in within the key. You can like things like like all
yeah.
those things, which is yeah.
Mm,
I'm looking forward to this,
yeah.
to the weird sounds, um,
I
on this third one.
I can't lie. On that, another question came to my head, but I know we're out of time.
Go on.
But I was gonna say, like, how do you find your style as a group? Because, like, honestly, even with the songs that you're writing now, like, that are kind of
Yeah,
about to make it onto the album, like, hearing stuff, and I'm like, this sounds so Scripture Says, like, like, do you know what I mean? And it's not even all of you singing, like, it's just one of you singing, and it's
yeah.
like, it just sounds like a Scripture Says song. But then, how do you actually develop that sound? Like, to be like, okay, this is our,
So you're feeling it.
It's a combination. It's a combination of uh, everyone in the group. So on my end, it will be baseline rhythm. Sometimes it's just like a voice note, and I don't have anywhere else to go with that particular thing. And someone hears it, and then just Chido is like, okay, I can add some harmonies, and Chido is really good with like harmony 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She just adds all these things, like all these dark, we call her like Queen of Dark Notes because she loves mellow songs. She loves that sort of dark sound. And then Laura is really good with like melodies. Um, so yeah, I don't even know how we get to it, to be honest. We've been singing together for so long that
yeah.
sometimes we'll be singing a simple hymn. And then I don't know if I think, okay, I'm gonna put a rhythm there, and then someone's like, oh, okay, let's add a seventh harmony. It's like, I don't understand it, but let's do it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Scripture Says.
I love that.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Last question. Who would you like us to speak to next on the podcast?
I'm not sure if she'd be available, but she's also my favorite songwriter. That's Chido.
Who is
I don't know if
your
Who,
she'd be.
wife?
who happens to be your wife?
Just
So, I mean, if you want to help us,
Genuinely, no, genuinely, there's a song that she wrote, Soul Cry. Like the
mm,
lyrical content in that song is just mind blowing. Another struggle song, and that's from the He Lives album. Yeah.
I need to
Yes,
beef her
ma'am.
for that
why?
because I think the first time I was listening to the album and like that I was getting through the whole album and then I was walking through town. This song came on. I was bawling my eyes out in the middle of town. And someone came up to me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Like, yeah, I'll beat them
Yeah,
for that one.
genuinely, I've had so many messages. I think there's a guy who's based in Zimbabwe who's like a poet, like a really good poet guy. And he just messaged and was like, yo, the lyrical content in that song. And coming from a guy who does poetry,
Yeah,
when you look back at the lyrics, you're like, wow, okay, cool. And it's still scripture based, but it's really talking about the yearning of your soul. My soul cries freedom, you know,
Yeah.
Mm.
from the inside out. That's the song.
Well,
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm gonna send the invite, but I'm also counting on you to be in our corner. Fight our case, please. I hope we've been good enough hosts for you to be like, yeah, they're really
You
nice.
have, you have, you have, you have.
Um,
Thank you.
but yeah, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us. And yeah, if you're watching this, go and listen to Tug of War and Creating Me, and then listen to the rest of the first album, and then after
And the
that, listen
second.
to the second album, and then keep an eye out for the third one,
Mhm.
which we're very excited for.
Yeah.
Anything you wanna plug, Nigel? Any places you're singing next, or anything like that?
Well, I think the current thing that I need to plug is obviously Manor House, and I know you have not paid me. This is not a paid ad, right? It's just pure from the heart, right? Manor House Studios, for podcasts, for music creation, and I think because we took the step to come away from studio to home record, even though we're recording ourselves at home, your facility, you guys from Manor House, is state of the art, homemade, just everything about it is perfect. So whoever will listen to the third album, Manor House has a big, big part to play in it, you know. So obviously another plug-in. You co-wrote one of the songs and you're a collaborator in another song because you just took a bass line that I did and you added to it. And it's like, okay, cool, let's do it, you know? So yeah, that's a good that's my only shout out. Scripture says we don't use TikTok, but we've got a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and
Amazing.
YouTube.
If anyone wants to be
But
their
yeah,
social
I
media.
think it will be
Yeah,
worth the wait, I believe.
Mm.
yeah. I believe it's gonna be worth the wait. I can't wait to listen to these songs as a civilian. In the words, to borrow Dylan's words, but yeah, like listening to these songs as a civilian. I
It,
can't wait.
it hits different.
Do you know? And do you know what
Yeah.
the thing is? Even though I don't hack me, yeah, don't hack me. Even though I have the files, I'm not listening to them. They're locked away. They're on the side. I'm waiting. I'm waiting
Yeah,
until
yeah.
it's ready, so I want to have that experience of walking in the street and be like, yeah,
Ah,
yeah, this is
yeah.
it. Or when I'm in the shops,
Yeah.
oh my days, the amount of times I'm in the shops, I'm listening to Creating Me, and I'm like, dun, 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 dun. I can't wait to experience that. So yeah, I'm really, really gassed for this album coming.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. It's exciting, and we hope people will be blessed. And just again, we've been vulnerable with the lyrics because it's just life, right? There's nothing to be ashamed of because we all struggle, but it's put a melody to it, put hope in it, and then things will be okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Amazing. Well, that was Nigel. We've been Tino and Natalie, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Catch you in the
Thanks,
next
man.
one. Bye.